feed, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing some feedback from you. And as the usual suspect, I got over here, I got Miss Kathy in the building. How you doing? I'm going to ask how your weekend was, but I already know. And then we got my man, his return trip, back from Cuba. And I remember when we had you on last time, you had told us you was getting ready to go. And just to have him back is definitely cool and wonderful, and we get a chance to talk to him about his trip down to Cuba. The Vanguard is being brought to you from Old Guard to Vanguard photo exhibit, as well as from Old Guard to Vanguard book. The photo exhibit is by Kamal Osiris, and the book is by Malik Ishmael. Brother, how was your trip down, your return trip to Cuba? How was it?
Wow, man. Good morning. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate you guys for having me come back in here and discuss this great topics we talk about in here. I definitely appreciate everything you guys do. The show is off the hook.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Got much love for y'all for having me back.
Anytime.
The trip was beautiful, man. It was great being out there, vibing with our brothers and sisters over there.
Oh man, I can imagine. I saw the Instagram, because I troll you on Instagram every day, and I say my man was having a good time. And it just seemed like you were so connected.
Yes. Yeah. It felt like going going back to your auntie house,
right?
Your cousin house, your grandmama house. It was, man, folks that I met on the first trip, right, that some of my partners had already known, but just some of us met some of the same people at the same time on that last trip, and they seen us again. It was like we were family.
Oh wow, right on, brother. Right.
Yeah, and then of course you always see people over there that look like somebody.
Right. Yeah. So they say, wait a minute, that's my cousin right there. Look like my cousin,
just like my cousin. So but we had a good time. Right. The artwork, everything. The reception was great.
Okay.
The collective, shout out to the Jose Marti Community Arts Collective, your mayor and the crew. They gave us much love and welcomed us in. We had a good time for the opening. Turned into a really nice party.
Okay, all right. That's how I do it down there. Yeah, it's very festive.
Yes, indeed. Right. So also shout out to all the artists. We went down, Danny, Perry, Sesai, Eric Brown, Dr. Lyles, Lucia Smith, Sadaji. We all... Because we either, for the brothers and sisters who could not go, we took their work.
Oh, right on.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. So we had a good time, and then we had some sponsors that looked out for us also.
Can you name them?
Youth Ticket Foundation, Sadaji, Sahosi, her company, she sponsored. Babylon Beware, of course, Hebert and Associates, We Three Kings. Okay. Danny Camp, who was our graphic designer, did a beautiful graphic design and just a whole project period for us. She tightened it up, and so... Okay. Shout out to everybody. Yeah.
Well, I also want to shout out the T-shirts and apparel from, what's your website, brother? Babylon where?
www.babylonbwear.com.
Okay.
All right.
For those of you who are tuning in right now,
that's
got Babylon in the house right now. So,
and the
female.
We definitely,
and the female version. Right.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell us about the recent exhibit you did with Brother Ghost.
Ghost opening reception was that was
all right.
A couple nights ago, and it was pretty. It was just him getting his work out there, abstract work.
Yeah.
Met him not too long ago through Dion at Zana Artistic Retail. Shout out to Dion and Ginger Ghost, and the crew over there. And she
now, not the Ghost from Power, right?
right.
Oh, okay, all right. Just
his
check.
Little brother. So Ghost, from Philly, he just wanted to get his stuff out, and so when we met, we clicked, and he asked me if I help him.
All right.
I was like, yeah. So I put that, helped him organize and put that exhibition together for him in that space.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a nice turnout. You guys came out. Thank you for that.
No doubt.
It was nice.
Yeah.
That was your support, brother.
Yes, indeed.
And my man Jason Thornhill just came in the building. You guys are going to get a chance to talk to him.
Yes.
And we're talking about businessman. We're talking about artists. We're talking about skate enthusiasts. We're talking about fitness guru, family man.
There
So
you
you definitely get a chance to holler at. And then we got two artists in the building. That's what I
That's
love as well. So we look forward to talking to them. But you had some questions?
Yes, because I wanted to know while you were in Cuba this time, I know you visit some other areas as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, we you talking about in Cuba?
Yes.
Like Hamel?
Yes.
On the Sunday, they do a Santeria ceremony every Sunday, like from 12 to maybe 2, 3 o'clock. Okay. So we did that actually twice. and that was beautiful. Music. I mean, we had some sisters out there. They were just all percussion, killing it. And we went to the House of Africa, San Jose. It's all, man, for the shopping. Anybody from here would love it because you get them handcrafted, goods for the Lolo.
Yeah, because people don't know that out there it's more of them creating,
Yes.
not you actually going to a regular shop like a mall.
Right. Yeah.
So you're actually getting craft the whole entire time. So I know you enjoyed that part.
Yes.
Because it's art in what they do.
Yes, and the craftsmanship is amazing. It's no Rudy Poot stuff. Everything is just tight.
And also the way you're treated out there,
Yes.
it's like family.
Just like family. You don't feel no threatening vibes whatsoever. Everything is peace. They got mad love for you no matter what time of the day or night. If you're walking late at night, you think in this dark streets, man, you safe out there, man.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to say
no doubt.
when we toured, it was like you didn't feel anything. You were safe altogether.
Altogether.
And I told you before you went, check out the Malecon.
Yes.
If you just stroll along that Malecon, brother,
Yes.
people are just chilling.
Oh, man.
Some of them out there kissing, some of them just talking.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about some of the social things that you experienced there.
Well, I mean, when you talk about the Malecon, that was like an experience because not only are you looking at the water and its beauty, but then you experiencing the different levels of power that it gives off throughout the day.
Right.
You might have walked down that street and it was totally calm.
Right.
Come back and them waves is slapping across the street.
Yes.
I've seen cars get rocked from the water hitting so hard.
Right.
So, and then it's just it's a very social path. It's a social area, like you said, folks hanging out, kissing, then you got a lot of artwork to watch if you walk in the Malecon, because we went from like Neptuno and I forgot the name of the street right off Central.
I think I know what street you're talking about. You just can't call it offhand.
And so from there to like the embassy, making that left and hitting the Malecon, it was like that was a stroll. We took a 43-minute walk from where we were to the embassy, and we ended up having to go because it's right off the Malecon.
Brother, you can get wild walking that Malecon.
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
I mean, I tell you, that thing is long. And we actually stayed at the Hotel National in the end of the Malecon.
Got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
But, man, we have some great dialogue right now. We got two talented brothers in the house, and we'll be right back with the Vanguard on Power 108.9. I definitely want y'all to... Oh, okay. All right. The brother used to shave me up when I had hair.
It took me a second to figure out the. I started thinking about it.
Okay, so where you need me to say?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, he would fade me, man. The best fade I've ever gotten. And man, but also talented brother. Because every time I walk in the shop, it's like walking in a Nation Vista restaurant. Your whole demeanor changes. So I definitely want to talk about that. Okay, all right. Yeah, oh man, ain't nothing but a thing. We got you, brother. That's all it is. And congrats to your son on the championship. Yeah. I was, of course, I troll you on social media, see what you got going on, brother. And I saw you won that championship. Oh, okay, all right. Man, I know you're proud, brother. Yeah, what we're gonna do is probably alternate questions.
Okay, that's fine. They can both answer the question.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that'll work. Well, he can't ask because maybe you can about Cuba because you. Yeah, but he went to the art. Okay. Hold it. Right. So like a Mayday joint? Sure, a Mayday or something? That's a big joint. Okay, all right.
Just kind of found it, told me after.
keep it a secret, huh? Okay. All right.
Under that.
Oh, what's that?
On the headphone.
Oh, the head. Okay, all right.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hey, man, when we come back, we're going to do the second question with brother, and then we're going to bring Jay in.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay.
Yo, it's Michael
just had you
McFadden
do
for our
second
friends
question.
over at Credit Building Professionals.
Here's Jay
You know what they
for
do?
two
They
questions.
help their
Okay.
clients achieve better credit. How? Late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days. And it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply
that
love
right.
to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. He got the cute thing going on. Back. This is the Vanguard on Power 108.9. We're back in the house, and we're joined by brother Jason Thornhill. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great.
Doing good? Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. Looking forward to definitely chopping it up with you. But I have one more question for brother Brian. How was your art received in Cuba at the international conference?
It was a great reception.
Okay.
Everybody, they were excited, really, because the fact that we made it happen.
Okay, right.
You know what I mean? Because we say, we're going to do this.
Right.
And then a lot of times you don't get the opportunity to do it.
Right.
But when we came back and brought work and made it, pushed it, they was real happy, juiced about it.
Okay.
Just wanted to get it done. During the reception, they showed all their appreciation. And then afterwards, the next day, after we started getting everything wrapped up and cleaned up, to get back to their normal routine,
Right.
man, they would just love. They was giving us pieces, like, here, take this, take my piece, man,
Wow.
And it was just a lot of love.
Well, a lot of talented people we got a chance to meet when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We sure did. We
Yeah.
actually met a lot of people hang out around the areas that tourists go to.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were actually making pictures of you as you pass.
Yeah.
And it was like, because they cannot sell directly to us, it was like, we want y'all to know we have artists here too. And sometimes giving it to you is the way to get it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, brother Jason, man, I've known you actually longer than I've known Brian. So thing is, man, when I first moved to Stone Mountain, I was looking for a place to get chopped up. And, of course, a lot of the places and chopped up returns were just getting a haircut, what have you. And I saw your business said Nappy Naps. That automatically told me something. Why did you name it Nappy Naps?
Well, just appreciating the naturalness of our hair,
Right on.
and really putting it out there so people can really take notice and be like, wow.
Right.
Whether you ask a question or just kind of go about your business. Nappy Naps, okay. And it's catchy.
It is.
You're
It
not
caught my
gonna forget
attention.
it. You're not going to forget it.
Right. Well, it seemed like a very conscious thing to do.
Yeah.
And then when I walked in the shop, it was just a different vibe. And I think during the break, I say, man, it's like going to one of the Nation of Islam restaurants. You transform once you walk in. And I got that kind of transforming thing. Kind of explain the spirit. of that.
One, I definitely wanted to have a family atmosphere.
Okay.
Two, of course, it has to have a cultural atmosphere, being that we're in the community, and the barbershop can be at a heartbeat of one's community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, of course, professional, So we just try to tie all of that in together and, just try to keep that standard going.
Okay.
Right.
And also, brother, you're an avid skate enthusiast.
Indeed.
And you got to see my skills at
At
Golden
work.
Glide.
Glad. Yeah.
You want to tell me?
Well, let's just say this. 30 minutes and only 2 laps later, by 20
done.
falls, he was in and done.
Man.
But tell us about what got you into it.
I've been skating. Well, my father actually.
Okay.
At that time, probably late 70s, I'm thinking. He took us to the Charles River one time in Boston and rented us some skates. This place called Wheels.
Okay.
And we got out there, and he's showing us a couple of things, which was very basic. But at that time, roller skating in particular became a big thing. It kind of knocked skateboarding out. Right. For the youth. Right. And so when roller skating came in, then everybody in the neighborhood was getting roller skates. Plus the older teenagers were getting the good skates. Right. And they were skating all around. And as a little guy, you're looking at them like, oh man. Right. So my friend Dex, he had a pair of roller skates. He wore 9, I wore 5. Okay. But when everybody was asleep, that particular summer when skating was big, I'd go to his house. Dex, let me get your skates. Right. He'd just hand them to me, and I'd be outside practicing. So, by the end of that summer, I don't know, it's probably about 79, 78, something around there. Okay. At the end of that summer, that was nice. Oh, okay. So when
you
all
did
the
street skating, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
all
which is
city
different.
Skating, right. Yeah. So all the older guys, when they saw my skill level, they were like, wow, Right. So then they would like, come with us. So we started skating, all city skating, which is from like Dorchester, where I'm from, to Cambridge, with Harvard University, MIT, and all of that. I don't know, it's probably about 7 miles or something through the city, and back. Okay. So that's how it started off. And the guy that I used to, get his skates, my boy Dex, one of my best friends in Boston.
Right, remember telling him about it, right?
Right, that's my diehard skate
dog right there.
We've skated a lot of miles. So when I was in Boston, most of the time I would be all city skating until I moved down here, where it's stretched out, and you can't really just skate like that down here. Right. There's certain areas which you got to stick to the city. Right. So that forced me kind of back into the skating rink. Right. Which, of course, was Golden Glide at the time. Much love to Golden Glide. Shout out to them.
Yeah, they closed too, right?
No, they opened back. They reopened because they got a lot of love when they closed, and people were like, "What are you doing?"
That's what I'm talking about,
that type of thing. And so I started back skating in Golden Glide and went from mainly being an outdoor roller skater to an indoor skater.
Okay, right, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Right. So now, the skating rink is,
Well, the physical toll,
like
because the thing is, I got so wore out just that my little. I think I did a lap and a half because I was the one just finger pop on the side.
Skating is like life, man.
Right.
You gotta learn. You gotta crawl before you walk. Right. You fall. You hurt yourself. Right. And you just gotta not worry about people looking at you, so on and so forth. So he fell. So what? Everybody falls. Right. You get up. And you move forward.
There you go.
Never backward. Always forward, never backward. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I understand that.
That's what you got to do.
That's it.
That's love right there. Yeah. And speaking of love with brother Brian, the love that you showed for the Cuban people when you were in Cuba, I mean, that seemed very, inspiring because you talked about, how friendly they were and how you were received. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh man, it's like a family. I mean, you see the universal family, right? You know what I mean, and all the talk of us not getting along or us not being connected. You see how that's all false propaganda, right? You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of them don't travel to the United States, right?
So they don't have the means, really,
right? But it really actually was what I found out because they wasn't coming here, but they going everywhere else. Yeah. They going to Russia. Okay. They pictures in their house in the snow. Like, what pictures? Russia, and they going to Canada. They going to Switzerland. They going all over the world, but they don't come to the United States. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because of whatever pilot, you know how it go, but not because they can't. Right. We didn't see no kids over there with no bummy shoes on. We didn't see no kids with no busted haircuts. Everybody's cuts was all clean. We was like, look, this little boy, look. So propaganda.
Right. I got you.
So just spelling it. Right. Because again, you see like your people and they're embracing you. All of us in here is Cubans until we open our mouth. I mean, we're they know we Cuban. They you Cubano? Right. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, you okay. You know what I mean? Right, so that other dispelling like Cubans look like this. Right. You know what I mean? Linking into race when it's the same makeup racially as we are every place. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no difference. It's just
I got that in DR, man. It was just a total different way of thinking there, really. Yeah. Because I know because I went to DR and Haiti. And I know that they the Africanness is very much part of the culture of Haiti, whereas it's not so much in the DR because of, I guess, the colonial mentality, I would assume. You know, so it's definitely a different dynamic, man.
Yeah.
Kathy, you want to get question 4?
Well, before we go to the
sure.
question, I was going to talk a little bit about what he was stating.
Oh, sure.
One, definitely, they also do a lot of self-motivation and also their marketing, because they can't come here and they're not like the U.S. Everything is not shop related. They're actually out there getting their hustle on. And what I like is it's more of an independent than it is them stating that the government is doing it for them.
Yeah, true.
That was one of them. We also like that their restaurants, they actually have a lot that's in-home restaurants where you can actually go and they're inviting you into their home, which is also their business.
Right.
We saw a lot of that also. And the best food was actually those that the people had in their homes.
Yep. Great use of space.
Yes.
Oh, no doubt.
They hustle some space.
Right. They don't waste no space. No space,
And
no
it
meal.
don't compromise regular home living.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? It's straight up. From this time to this time, it's a restaurant.
Correct.
This time, this is home. Right. Oh, but then we do a late night thing. You know what I mean? And it don't compromise nothing.
And you can't tell that you was in someone's home. No. It looks like a restaurant. Right. They actually had it set up. We were actually overlooking the ocean in one person's area. And the thing is, you forgot that you was in a home. Right. It was that nice and inviting.
Yes.
And some of the best ways to find those homes, we actually got it from the taxi cab drivers. Because they were actually bringing us to different homes every night, and it was the best food we had eaten.
Yeah, we we had a brother over there. Shout out to Professor Zulu.
Okay, all right.
Zulu Weta. He's a good cat. He gave us a nice tour. He took us to a home like that. Right. Man, food was amazing. Plate was a real plate.
Right.
Like broiled fish.
Oh man.
Vegetables, fruit. Black beans and rice. I mean, it was off the hook.
Oh wow, sounds like getting me hungry already.
Yes, indeed.
And Jay, you had a relative that actually went to Cuba, right?
My
father, right. And how did he describe it?
He definitely described it as welcoming.
Oh, beautiful.
I think that's the biggest thing I got from him.
Okay.
You know, and just, you know, the understanding that, just like what you were talking about, you know, anybody, if I go to Cuba, I could be Cuban real easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And from dark to light, you know, until you open your mouth, you know. So he definitely talked about that. He was like, man, you know, I fit right in.
And the only other thing outside of the
Music,
way
art.
we talk was our clothes. They could spot you a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, I tell you, we're having some powerful dialogue with two powerful, talented brothers. And we're going to get into a little bit of the art, because I definitely wanted to have you two together, because Jason's art and your art are just phenomenal. And, because you've always done some great murals. And of course, you know, that's right up your alley, and as well as exhibits. So I want to kind of get into the passion for art when we come back.
Right on.
We'll be back with the Vanguard on Power 108.9.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
One day. Okay. There's a whole bunch of places I'm trying to get.
Yo, Michael McFadden here. If you are a college student looking for a computer science tutor, or you want to learn how to code, then enroll into CAM School. Only at CAM School will you be immersed in a proven tutoring system dedicated to its students, guaranteed to help you get a B or better. Pressure from midterms and finals will be a thing of the past. Become a competent coder and stand out from your competition. CAM School will solidify your computer science and coding skills. Visit the website camschool.io. That's KAMSCHOOL for a free consultation. Tell them that you heard it on Power 108.9.
Who actually say they're going there to broadcast.
Your favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to answer that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away.
As long as you displaying it in the right
Someone
manner.
wants to tell
Because
you
I've done it as
something
a writer.
or ask you something.
Have a chance to do that. And,
Oh, come on.
man, I tell you,
answer
wherever we
it
go,
already.
I mean, the same sounds I heard in Africa, whether it be Ghana,
Just so we're
South
clear,
Africa, I
that
heard
wasn't my
in
fault.
Salvador Bahia.
Next time, ignore
Rio,
your inner
I
voice.
heard in
Don't text
Cuba
and drive.
and other
Stay
places.
up on what's
So,
happening here at
that
Power.
African
We got new
imprint.
shows,
One sound.
new guests,
It is.
and
You're like
new
James Brown
events
talks
that help
about
us
the one.
connect with the
Right.
community. Follow us on Facebook and
that means
Instagram at Power
universally.
108.
It's the one sound. Right. So definitely you can go somewhere else and still hear that, even though it's a slight change. You know, even in West Indian islands,
is
even
your
though a lot of
new
people do
favorite
soca, reggae, or
internet
this or
radio.
that,
Right.
calypso,
Power
whatever,
108.9.
it may be a different island. You can hear the slight change in
Change. You
style,
wanna answer that,
but it's
don't
still
you?
the same kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow
Yeah,
just
like
inches
dialects.
away.
From a certain part of
Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something.
LA.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Oh, come on. Answer it already.
Outside of sound very much similar. Still that distinctive.
Right.
like,
Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Next time, ignore your inner voice.
Like listen to
Text
Ice
and
Cube
drive.
and then you hear E40.
Stay up on what's happening
You
here
know,
at
there's
Power.
a distinctive.
We got new shows,
Yeah, right.
new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
It's like you can't. There's nothing distinctive about it.
Right.
You catch a little bit of that amongst, but not. It ain't no like every place. is distinct. Oh, yeah, in Montana.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
Right, the bathroom.
Well,
So what you gonna
I'm going to do the 4 and 5 with Brother Brian. Welcome back to the Vanguard on Power 108.9. As you hear in the background, we got some skate music going on, roll bounce. My man Jason Thornhill, avid skater. And he's definitely in the building. We're going to talk about that later on. But I want to get back with my man Brian. In terms of, going to Cuba, what were some of the other places that you got a chance to see this time that you didn't get to see last time?
House of Africa.
Oh, okay. All right.
House of Africa was beautiful.
Okay.
You know, the same sisters, the percussion group that we saw in Hamel,
Okay.
they were performing in House of Africa.
Okay.
The group we went with got a chance through brother Professor Zulu, got a chance to tour the Revolutionary Museum.
Oh, okay. Right on.
What else? So I mean, it was, really just all parts. We went to the beach, got a chance to eat some stuff on the ocean. Well, in the sand, right off the
Right.
They served lunch out there, so it was cool. We got a chance to put our feet in the water in
Oh
Cuba.
man, beautiful.
Which was amazing.
Yeah.
They
Don't
didn't
go out
want-
too far though, man.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
'cause,
they didn't want-
sharks don't be playing out there, bro.
Look, they didn't want nobody to swim. It's like don't swim.
Don't swim.
Yeah,
Nah,
but
nah.
and some people did, and I guess what the water was started getting so powerful.
Right. Swept them out or
Yeah,
something.
because there was a Haitian sister that we met out there, older woman. She was real cool. She was like, I just want to swim.
Okay.
Oh.
So she got in the water, and they had to come tell her. But when she was like getting in the water,
Right.
them waves was knocking her around.
Dang.
She was getting knocked back. Like,
Man.
they're like, you okay? She's like, yeah.
It's a serious thing, man.
Yeah. Them waves was not playing. They had told her, no, don't swim. But we did get a chance to put our feet in that water.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. And they got some of the best ecosystems around Cuba because it's been untouched for so long.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they don't allow people to be swimming out there and what have you. But you got to be careful anywhere you go.
Hey, Brian, I wanted to ask, what side of Cuba were you on, the Caribbean seaside or the Atlantic side?
I guess it looked like the Atlantic side with Malecon. Similar, because we were looking at, they said they were telling us, pointing out that New Orleans and Miami they said New Orleans was 80 miles from that coast. Yeah, so we were like, yo, and then it was like Miami's 90 miles.
Look how close.
Yeah, right. It was like, we're getting a little boat. And be like,
true.
okay, and then come on back, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
that was dope, man.
Because a lot of people that have boats in Miami do go back and forth between the two.
I would do that. I would definitely be doing that if I was same
So,
thing.
question, what made you want to go to Cuba?
We were a couple partners of mine had went down. I've been wanting to go, but once they made the connection with an artist collective, which was the Jose Marti brothers and sisters, that made it for me. And a friend of mine, Perry, fellow Southern brother, he wanted me to talk to him since my I have background in exhibitions and curatorial work. So I said, yeah, definitely. So we went down. That was an excuse to go.
Right.
Yes.
Got out there, chopped it up with them, and they were so cool. We did a community piece together. They didn't have a whole bunch of paint. Sent them some paint back.
Okay.
Been building with them from that same time.
Okay.
And really, we set all this whole exhibition, set all this up through Google Translate and Instagram.
Okay. Wow.
Straight up. No, the language barrier was not a problem.
See that?
Wow.
We made technology was
Okay.
winning on that.
And then talk about the film that inspired you, the documentary.
Oh man, Cuba African Odyssey.
Yeah.
I got hip to that documentary through my brother Curtis McHardy, photographer here in Atlanta, dope cat. He put me up on game with that, and then same with my homeboys Sesai and Perry, and we started pushing it basically because it was a documentary just shedding light on Cuba's participation in helping to liberate 17 countries on the continent of Africa.
Absolutely.
How Fidel sent 500,000 troops to the continent to put in work.
Wow.
Put his money and his people where his mouth was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Him, Che, Raul, and started working with those countries to help liberate. And even pointing out how Guinea-Bissau was one that was ready.
That's right, yeah.
Even before the Congo was ready. Guinea-Bissau, they said, was ready under Cabral's leadership.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, say that that was the first to liberate from the Portuguese. Then it was Mozambique, and they said they fought hard for Angola.
Right, with Neto.
Yeah,
right,
they fought hard, but they had to get that up too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Cuba set all that off, and then in the doc, it speaks to how Nelson Mandela, why he really got out of prison.
Okay.
Like it wasn't no divesting and from businesses. No.
Right.
Cuba. That's
Right.
why when he got out of prison, first place he went to was Cuba.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's how they begin the documentary.
Yes,
I mean,
that's how they begin
He
the
pretty much comes on and say, hey, the first place I'm going once I get released is Cuba.
Book my ticket.
Right.
And then it shows him and Fidel embracing, and you see both of them old as hell. You know, much love and respect to both of them. Rest in peace to Nelson. Rest in peace to Fidel. And they were embracing. He was like, yo, right then, the narrator did a great job.
Wow.
That was an excellent documentary. Man.
Oh,
You can watch
it
that
is.
over and over and over.
No doubt.
But when I was down there, I also picked up Che Guevara's book, Congo Diary.
Yeah, okay, right.
And that's some, so coupled with the documentary.
That's a deep read right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a deep
no
read.
doubt, no doubt.
Straight up.
Yeah. And with Brother Jason, tell us a little bit because you're one of the few brothers I met from Boston. I don't, other than knowing New Edition or what have you, but I don't know too many brothers from Boston. Describe your upbringing in Boston as well as what brought you down to Atlanta.
Well, I grew up in Dorchester,
Okay.
Four Corners neighborhood,
All right.
around the way, as we say.
Right.
And middle class kind of upbringing, kind of Cosby family like.
Okay.
Even though the neighborhood was rough.
Right.
But that's art, music, jazz, culture, that type of thing. That was the upbringing, high moral standard.
Right on.
And it was great growing up in Boston. I mean, when I got up to high school, it was a little tough.
Okay. Right.
Just because of the neighborhood I lived in.
Right.
But it was a great experience. Great parents, great siblings.
Right. And the
Awesome.
hip hop culture, you really seem like you embrace that, but it's reflective in your art as well.
Oh yeah, well,
hip hop as well as culture and history.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the high school era that I came up in.
Right.
In my teenage years.
Okay.
Whereas in the 70s, we were big into Parliament, Funkadelic, Bootsy.
Oh, no doubt.
But when the late 70s ushered in early 80s,
Right.
popping and, graffiti, which I've always drawn.
Right.
But when graffiti ushered in, plus I was popping.
Right. We got to talk about that a little
Then
bit.
I started rapping, so yeah.
Okay.
It of course, hip hop is a culmination of a few different dynamics.
Oh, no doubt.
It's not just one thing, but I definitely jumped 2 feet into that.
All right.
Was hitting the streets late at night trying to do our little cry lime, spray painting and whatnot.
Okay.
Back in the day, and dancing and rhyming.
Oh, wow. All
Yeah,
right.
it was awesome.
Yeah, because you told me so many
friends.
stories growing up down
Oh, yeah, I
in
got
Boston,
1,000.
man. Yeah.
Good barbershop stories.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's awesome growing up there. And, I've always grown up in a fairly conscious and forward-moving household as far as ideology.
Okay.
So, and it's my nature to be adventurous and go by the beat of my own drum, so to speak.
Right on,
So I have a friend named Uno the Prophet.
Okay, all right.
He's a orator, public speaker. He's a Black Panther as well.
Okay, all right.
But he rhymes too. He came up rhyming.
Okay.
And he moved down here.
Right.
After I went to college, I came back and went to barber school.
Okay.
And was working, getting going in that field that way.
Right.
And he came down here talking about he was in the T-shirt, this and that.
Okay.
And I'd always heard about Atlanta being the black mecca, and,
right.
positive vibrations as people go in there to as a collective, you
right,
know,
right.
Chocolate City.
Chase some
action.
dreams, right,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right.
So of course that's my forward thinking. That's my pathway. It's always got to be incorporated, you know.
Right.
Of course, always using the principles in Nguzo Saba, which is Kwanzaa, which is a big thing in my family as well.
No doubt. I remember
I used that as a guide, so it just, I was like, wow, I'm going to come check you out.
Okay.
So I came down here, nice weather, everything was clean. Boston can get a little...
Right.
Just
saying.
Better weather.
You're right,
And
right.
the one thing that struck me was I went to the African Art Festival.
Okay.
And when I went there, it's at Piedmont Park, and it was just so many, just thousands of black people looking good, cultural, and no beef
Right.
whatsoever.
Okay.
Nothing.
Right.
No fighting, shooting, stabbing.
Just
none of that.
vibing. Yeah.
Everybody, what's up, brother? What's up, sister?
Right.
You know? It was just a beautiful thing. And so that was overwhelming. And the weather, it was just overwhelming for me.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. I'm used to something jumping off.
Right.
I'm used to that.
Right,
you know.
right.
And I was like, wow, okay. My wife and I were, we just been married a few years. We starting off as well. She came with me.
Right.
And so I was like, man, I'm raising a family down here.
Right.
That might be the thing to do.
Right.
And I could open a shop,
Correct.
That's how I flew.
I was also surprised how many Cape Verdeans are in Boston.
A lot of Cape Verdeans.
I didn't realize that.
Boston probably be the largest Cape Verdean community, I would say, other than Cape Verde itself.
Right, which is off the coast of Africa.
Right.
Right.
Senegal.
Right.
A group of islands, Cape Verde Islands. Portuguese colonized them. Of course, Portuguese and African Creole is what they speak.
Right.
What my wife speaks,
Okay.
Yep. So and it's a decent little group of Cape Verdeans down here too. Of course, if you're not familiar with that, he probably's gonna pass you by.
Right.
But there's a small little group of Cape Verdeans here as well.
Okay. Yeah. What inspires you with your art? Because again, you're involved in so many things, your businesses, but art seems to be your real passion in terms of just expressing yourself.
Right. Like I said, I go by the beat of my own drum. So the art that I do is the art that I feel at the time.
Right.
So my art is expressive.
Okay.
In a way of like I said, the way you feel at the time. If I'm feeling good, the art may dictate through the art.
Right.
If I'm not feeling so good, that whole piece may be that way.
It'll be reflected. Right.
But it's life.
Right.
I'm a freestyle artist, so I do what I want because it's my right in the universe to do what I want within the limits of the universe. You get what I'm saying? So I don't like to be dictated on what to do. I just like to do it. You know what I mean? And then sometimes most of the time, I go off the top of my head, and I get a little idea in my head. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start that, and sometimes. All the time. It takes me in a whole nother direction. Like a piece will start off one way and it'll end up another way.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean?
However you flow with it, right.
Culture, music, the red, black, and green for sure got to be in all my pieces.
Gotcha.
Somehow, some way, I'm going to fit that in there.
Okay.
Like I said, the principles in Nguzo Saba, my whole lifestyle is going to go into the piece.
Right on.
Through and how I see the universe as well.
And I see that with your family, how they've taken that on as well.
Oh yeah, my father's an accomplished artist. My brother's an accomplished artist. That's kind of there.
Right.
So I've been doing that all along. But I definitely had a reemergence probably when I was 45.
Okay.
Because life gets you in a certain way. Sometimes you put down a pencil, you put down an eraser or whatever.
Right.
And years go by, and then something sparks your thing. And so when I was 45, I opened up the barbershop, I had to close.
Right,
Because
right.
they brought in a plasma bank.
Okay.
So they forced me into another unit.
Right.
So, of course, at this time, I was like, man, I got this space. I was like, look at these walls. I'm always looking at walls like,
Right.
nice, fresh wall right here.
There you go.
So I see this wall, and I said, you know what? I can spray paint this wall.
Right. Okay.
And I hadn't did that in 20 years.
Man, but
Easy.
it came back easy, right?
Bam.
Just like that.
So I got the paint, went down to the art store, got the paint,
Right.
drew a little piece, drew a little characters, little galaxy over here,
Right.
blended it together, bam, which is the mural that's in the back of the barbershop.
Right.
So when I did that mural, I was like, okay. I was loving that. So then I met Soon, who was a guy here, lives here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And Soon sold DVDs. He was
Yeah.
the DVD man in the barbershop.
Right. Yeah, I got a couple of them from.
You're right. So now Soon is a big time graffiti artist from New York.
Okay.
That in the 80s, his mother moved him out to Cali.
Okay.
So Soon in the graffiti world is like Muddy Waters for graffiti.
Okay.
He
all
took
right.
a certain style
Right.
and how to switch caps, how to do different technique to Cali when they was just scribbling.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
He taught them guys how to do their thing.
Right.
So all the big graffiti artists in Cali now, their root comes from Soon.
Okay.
So Soon's coming in the barbershop. He's like, Jay, he did a piece in the other barbershop for me.
Okay. All right.
So then Soon's like, yo, we should go
Yeah.
do some murals outside on trains.
Right. That's
So-
a New York thing, all right?
Yeah,
The train.
it's
yeah.
part of it's part of
Yeah.
it. It's the
Well,
rawness
East Coast,
and the
rather.
realness of it, of art. I mean, you under pressure doing work, So we hitting freight trains
Okay.
in a certain area.
Okay. All right.
At 40 in our 40s, he's older
Okay.
than me.
Oh, okay.
So just the fact that we were doing that was hype enough. You know what I mean?
Right. No doubt.
So we doing the pieces. I'm like, I'm loving this.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, but I'm too old to really be hitting the streets like this. It's illegal. I can't be doing this. So, which brought me back into my house.
Okay. All right.
So my garage is my studio.
Okay. All right.
So I jumped on anything. My whole thing is anything that I can get natural, or whether it be a canvas or something that I can paint on.
Right.
If I see it, I'm like, oh, I could paint on that.
Okay.
So a lot of my work on wood boards or this or
yeah.
that or whatever, plastic, anything I can paint on. So my whole garage is, every wall is painted.
Oh wow.
Stairs are painted in there. Everything's painted.
Okay.
So now I do canvases, and I do that. I've done a couple pieces for people in their homes. But I'm really now I'm thinking to myself, because barbering has actually taken a toll on my body. It's time to once again transition.
Right.
It just I'm this age doing it. But hey, it's a direction, and this is something that I really would like to do.
Right.
So I'm saying, just like when people were telling me, man, your cuts are like professional. You should go to barber school. I hear that now.
Right.
With the art, it's in my family, it's in my blood.
No
So
doubt.
therefore, I'm going to just do the same thing.
Right on.
And transition from the barbershop to murals and going to Cuba, collective. That's what I want to do.
All right.
I want to allot me the time to provide and protect my fam,
There you go.
and take me around the world. And so I can just share with others and do the art. It's a beautiful thing.
And also speaking to my man Naeem Shaw, Ghost, he was on Facebook. He said art is freedom. And and then when we come back, I definitely want to talk about how it frees you. It frees your soul.
Yes.
And thing is what passions you get from doing your art as well. Because we definitely learned how Jason got motivated with his art. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Right on.
It's Vanguard on Power 108.9.
I stick to my script. But look, he gets those questions.
No doubt. I need.
He was like, this is yours, this is yours. I'm good.
Yeah, you probably couldn't. Yeah, that's what I need direction at this point.
And look,
Humbly.
right here.
Humbly direction
Yes.
at this point.
And that's why he wanted to bring the two of you together.
Sure.
I mean, even though I haven't been in the shop obviously for a cut, just remember looking at the walls. It's like when I go to Philadelphia, they have one of the best street art programs around. I see this image of Wilt Chamberlain. I see Patti LaBelle. So the first thing I do when I'm in Philly, I look at the wall.
Yeah,
I
sure.
use some of your shop.
Sure.
Okay, all right.
If you ever get a chance to get up to Boston too, and look around, there's a big emergence of more mural art. Some young brothers is really hitting off on some stuff now. And Boston has always had big muralists and artists, black artists in particular. The Black Art Association, with my father's involved with. Dana Chandler, who was a big artist back in the day, did a lot of prominent murals that, like in Wattstacks. I was watching Wattstacks and saw two of Dana Chandler's murals on Wattstacks, and that was way back in what, 72, 71, something like that. Yeah. So in Boston got a
late
lot
payments,
of
fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
You're back with the Vanguard on Power 108.9. And I tell you, Brian and Brother Jason, I told everybody, get their popcorn ready.
There you
it's
go.
going down today. Man, speak to that passion that Jason talked about and how it impacted you in terms of what you give to the people art-wise.
For me, man, you know, growing up in L.A., I was like, only thing I really liked was art, man, period.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When it came, you know, I wasn't all really into the books growing up. You know, graffiti was a major influence for me. But I like animals, so I used to draw a lot of dogs.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then just coming up from there, me and my cousin Scooby back in the days just draw a lot.
Okay.
You know, didn't get no formal training, none of that. You know, neighborhood, you know, you sketching on the slide, you doing little things. You know, sometimes artists you private with your stuff. Right. But when it came to high school, you know, I would do a lot of work with you know, creating the banners for the basketball teams. And I went to Morningside High School, so we had a big basketball program.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So stuff like that. And then got to a friend of JoJo, this guy that went to Southern.
Okay.
He came back with video footage of Southern University and what Black college life was, and it blew all our minds. So we was like, yo, this is amazing.
Right.
So everybody said, we're going to go to Southern. I ended up going to Southern. They had an art program.
Right.
Now, had I known I had a background in art, I would have missed out on Southern because I probably would have went to some like Cal Arts or SCAD or somewhere, you know, thinking that way.
Right.
Man, so it was divine. Ended up at Southern, and I'll tell anybody, that was the best art program in the world. At least one of the best art programs in the world. It was all uncles and aunties.
Okay, all right.
They showed us everything. You didn't leave out of there. You knew how to organize exhibitions, gallery management, all that we got as well. That wasn't even a class. That was just regular. We got a gallery. We need it prepped up. We need this. We need to prep these walls. Come on in here.
Okay.
You know, we need to hang this show. Let's lay the pieces out. Right. We ain't just throwing anything up. Let's get a coordinated vibe, you know, and to sit down and do that. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, the drawing program, the painting, everything was immaculate. Oh, wow. Martin Payton, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Frank
you said his name last
yeah,
time.
Man,
Yeah, no doubt.
It was. I wouldn't have ran into it. Plus, they gave us game with a no art for art's sake background. It was no art. You know, you ain't just creating just to be doing a pretty bowl of fruit, man. And who is that for? A group of revolutionaries? To eat that fruit? Your family for nourishment?
Right.
You know, it had to have a meaning.
Right.
And I'm glad to have that. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't. So when it comes to my work, you know, I'm doing, like my man said, I'm doing what I want to do.
That's freedom, like Jason talked about.
Yes, indeed. And that freedom is, you know, putting the idea, a narrative together and taking it from there. Right. You know, but it's your world. Just like a comic book, graphic novel. This is your world or a book. Okay. And so you don't let outsiders dictate your narrative. Okay. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I love being able to say what I want to say and just do it at a certain level and just keep running with it. You know what I mean? Just keep on running. So, like my series now, Return to the Ghetto Bastard.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saw the post on Instagram.
Yeah. And I just keep pushing that. I tell people, Return to the Ghetto Bastard, which started at Southern, you know, as a piece called The Ghetto Bastard. Right. And then I just revised it. It was a pencil drawing inspired by Naughty by Nature. Shout out to Tretch.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That everything's going to be all right. That was the inspiration behind that piece,
right.
along with an assignment by Mr. Cox, Robert Cox. Shout out to Robert Cox, Southern University.
Okay.
He about to retire, but it was the connection of a black child in an environment that not supposed to nurture or nourish that child.
Right.
But then the child thrives.
Right.
So the narrative I use is imagine dropping off a pit bull puppy on the Serengeti and then coming back. You expect that puppy to be dead probably within 5 minutes. There's so much predatory stuff going on. It's a natural environment.
Right.
But you come back 2 years later and that pit bull puppy is thriving with a king cobra in his mouth, running through, leading a pack of wild dogs. That's the ghetto bastard.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what that is. And it speaks to us. It's about black male ascension, black male representation.
Okay.
And on the backdrop of the piece is always used a flag.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Moving flag, because the flag is us overcoming the situation. The movement is us moving continuously to overcome imperialism.
And also, you had a exhibit about Phyllis Hyman.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all love, man. Shout out to Zana Artistic Retail Boutique and Gallery.
Right on.
That's the spot. Dion, Ginger. Dion got at me. Miss Antoinette had, which is another shout out to Miss Antoinette. She had Phyllis Hyman slides.
Oh, okay.
She still has them. So if anybody's interested in some Phyllis Hyman slides from like the 70s, vintage stuff. So we used those slides to inspire a quick turnaround exhibition inspired by Phyllis Hyman.
Oh,
we called it For Phyllis, and we just wanted to, when I got it art, it was like a month and a half turnaround. Like, yo, man, we're going to do this exhibit on Phyllis Hyman. You interested? Yeah, I love Phyllis.
Okay.
So I'm talking Sean Haynes, Ghost, Ren Diller, Tisha Smith, Alicia Starsha, Brother Kenneth Zaki.
Okay.
Man, we all, Sean Haynes, we all wanted to do something. Nobody said, well, that's too short a notice, man. I can't do it.
Right.
Everybody jumped in with both feet. And we had this dope exhibition. John Glover was the other artist. We had, we just did a dope exhibition inspired by her.
Okay.
And it was cool. As the Now Artistic Retail, which was their first exhibition.
Right.
So
on the
moving
West End
forward,
as well.
yes, in the West End. Right across the street from the Slutty Vegan.
Okay.
That's the spot, 1531.
That's the one without the big line going like 3 blocks?
Yeah. Man.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Yep. So it's right across the street, and it's a boutique and gallery.
Oh,
so
right on.
Good space to do some work. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, now with Brother Jason, I think it's Pablo Picasso who once said that our goal in life is to discover our gift. Our purpose in life is to give it away. Where did you first discover your gift?
Man. Things just kind of metamorphosize over time.
Okay.
Nothing is mastered overnight.
Right.
And it just takes time to, do these things. As far as just straight painting is concerned, when I did that piece in the barbershop.
Right.
Once I did that piece, I was like, oh, man.
Right.
With a little more practice, I'd be hitting these strokes real nice.
Okay, all right.
It's all about
like
placement.
Right.
With them spray cans. It's about hitting that thing at a certain angle and a certain pressure, and you got to get that muscle memory. So, anyway, nonetheless, that I've always been inspired.
Okay, right.
Visually.
Right.
I see the world in an artistic manner, or the universe, I should say, in an artistic way. Everything looks artistic to me. Right. So I can pull from that, and those things inspire me, but definitely reemergence as far as that is concerned.
Right.
Yeah, when I did that first piece in the barbershop, for sure.
Oh yeah,
it was
right
like, pow, But I've always, drawn, and I've always painted and sculpted. I can sculpt as well.
Oh, okay.
So I've always done that. Just when I wanted to, kind of thing. But yeah, I would say.
Okay.
I would say then, because it was such a reemergence. So I would say at 45, bam.
Wow. Well, the one piece you had that really always stood out to me was I call it like a Rasta lion. The brother just like Mm-hmm. Explain that piece and how that inspired you.
Of course. I deal with the life, the liberty of Rastafari.
Right.
So that's gonna shine through as well. The lion is definitely a majestic animal, to say the least.
Yeah,
noble and prideful, and a leader.
Oh yeah,
courageous.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So those are attributes that you could definitely use to go into a piece of artwork.
Right.
somehow, some way, lines always tend to slip up in there.
All right,
I got
right.
a piece at home now. I got to finish the whiskers on that guy, but he's something.
Oh, okay.
I'll show it to you later, but
Okay.
yeah.
And I think my man got the Babylon wear,
And
so
I was
you
about
already
to say,
Yeah, no doubt.
was
he rocking it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
all
are you
day.
looking to also do some apparel as well?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. My brother and I are talking about maybe starting a online gallery,
Okay.
particularly for artists who are not accomplished in the art world, who need exposure, who are good artists but don't have formal training.
Right.
Because I find that sometimes my father runs a gallery in Boston.
Okay,
And
all right.
he's always talking about artists can get a little look down the nosy. Just
Right.
like in
Okay, right.
other genres of life.
Right.
You know, people just start looking down their nose at folks. You know, you didn't go to such and such a school of art and this and that and the other, so you couldn't possibly have a certain skill. But some of the best artists are not formally trained.
That's true.
They're trained by
That's
nature.
true.
Or they trained by these things, and that's what they use. Is just bringing it to the eyes, let it go out to the hand, and keep practicing, and you learning it. You know,
Right. Just
Like
finding
that.
that purpose, really.
Just finding it.
Yeah. Because I never knew I could write, but it wasn't until I had to write
there you go.
Sure.
that it came to
Sure.
fruition. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then you get a little skill, and next thing you know, it's like wow. And then next thing you know, it's like wow. Okay, now it's a passion.
Right on.
Passion is driving me, you know, to do this type of thing. So we're gonna try and do the online gallery,
Okay.
and definitely some sort of retail,
Okay. All right.
T-shirts.
All right.
I remember the early days of our Kwanzaa family. We used to do this tile that you used to cut out, and you used to do the little printing with the tile.
Oh,
We
okay.
made
All right.
greeting cards. We had T-shirts, and we would sell that stuff so they could promote our Kwanzaa family trips, like
Oh, okay.
skiing or
Right.
going over here, going over, stuff like that.
right,
you
right,
know,
right, got
it was cool. So that's always been just on my mind.
Okay.
So I just want to do that as well because I figure that as an artist, hence the term starving artist.
Right.
At this point in my life, I can't afford to starve.
I know that's right.
I got a family that I got to provide and protect for. So
Okay.
I have to figure out. I'm trying to figure out a base amount of money that can be coming in on a regular.
Okay. All right.
That'll allot me the money to go on around the world and buy canvas and spend money on paint and
Right.
brushes and this and that and the other.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And how can people reach out to you as we kind of wrap it up a little bit? Social media?
Definitely, yeah. Social on Instagram.
Okay.
Thornhill Jason.
Okay.
Stilo45. That's my tag.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm on Facebook as well.
Okay. All
Jason Thornhill, and of course, always welcome to come to Stone Mountain,
All right.
North Harrison Road, and Harrison Village.
All right. We
Plaza,
already know.
Nappy
Nappy
Naps
Naps,
Barbershop.
baby.
Get your
And that's
get
where
your
you
cut
can
on.
get the direct link.
Right. Okay. All right. And for you, brother? Kind of reintroduce them?
Yeah, social media, Facebook, Brian Hebert, Instagram, BERN_174. That's on Instagram, and then Babylon Beware, BABYLONBWEAR.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it.
Oh, man. Well, I definitely look forward to all the projects you two brothers had going on and then possibly a collab.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
kind of hook it up and what have you. But again, thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you.
Vanguard here at Power 108.9. And we got your man Ghost on the next show, February
Right on.
9th.
Shout out to
along
Ghost.
with,
What
along
up,
with Sister
Ghost?
Kua as well. Kua Taylor.
Yeah, shout out to Kua.
No
Right
doubt,
on,
no
right
doubt.
on.
Well, thank y'all, brother. And we'll definitely check y'all next time. And peace and blessings to the family.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
We out.
Cool. Great.
Got to get it going, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I done took all the questions from Kathy.
I'll let him go with it because I know he was prepped for this
Most
one.
of my
yeah.
family was
When you're in your zone, you're in your zone.
Up north.
trying to
so
tell me
down
about
here,
Yeah.
I had
Because
a
I knew the
partner,
question he had
but
right here. I was like, oh, I'm going to pass that on.
So I'd rather roll solo. So of course that means I don't go out too much and I don't get out too much.
You
know
did,
what I mean?
sweetie.
But anyway, I'm definitely looking to be going out and experience this
You got a lot of shows.
at this point.